code switch to everyone. Hello. All right. So, can y'all hear me good?
Yep.
Awesome. Good.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. I can't see if my voice indicator's working because of my cowboy hat, and so I'm just gonna... Nice big old cowboy hat, as you can see. Anyway, welcome to the product meetup. As you know, this is where we kind of announce things and also answer some questions about the future of Sansar and the wonderfulness that is to come. We had quite the week and weekend last week, and so I hope everybody is thoroughly rested from the wonderful spooky Halloween weekend. I know that I could definitely use about 5 naps, but we're going to definitely have some good times this week as well. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start with the introduction of the Wookiees, but again, as we always remind you, please be sure that if you have any feedback or questions that you type them in the chat and do not say them over voice so that we can have a record of them and also be able to properly address them. So, let's start with Wally. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Wally.
Hi, everybody. I am Wally, your friendly neighborhood customer service representative, here to squash bugs and take care of trolls and answer tickets and make sure everybody's having a great time.
Awesome. Daisy.
I'm Daisy. You already know me as Daisy Winthrop. I help with studios, support, and marketing.
I'm Lacey, community manager, doer of many things, wearer of many hats. Today it happens to be a cowboy hat. Alex, your turn.
Yeah. I'm Alex. I'm one of the product managers. I help figure out what we're doing.
Excellent. And Sean.
I'm Sean. I'm on the engineering team. I type codes.
He does all the amazing
Multiple
things.
codes.
Speaking
At
of
least
which,
3.
At least 3.
At least 3. As you guys probably saw, we posted a bit of a teaser between last product meetup and now of the dynamic sit points, and just a big round of applause to Sean and all for getting those to us because we're very excited. So big round of applause for that. There we go. That's what's up. Seriously, big thank you. Everybody's really excited about that. But for the community side of updates, oh, I love these new reactions. That's so great. We have a couple of different updates. So this weekend, we actually have a very large festival coming in from, I believe, the makers of Lost Horizon. It's called Meetopia. And it's a really amazing, I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of this, but it's like a South Asian culture fest with a bunch of different artists from that. And it's usually into the physical world, but for obvious reasons, we are now into the virtual world, so let's make history together. So that's going to be this Saturday, and I will link that into the chat right here. You can see the lineup on londonmela.org. The next thing is that because spooky season has now commenced, we're going to be looking at putting together a new store collection. The plan is to allow you guys to have a couple of different options or for y'all to suggest some stuff. If you guys want to send me your suggestions in a private message for the next category, like maybe winter or, holiday themes, whatever it is, feel free. Go ahead and shoot me a message and I'll put some of y'all's suggestions together so that the community can vote on the next store collection. No, Krampus is a wonderful idea, Wally, but I'm not sure how many Krampus items we have. But I do like the idea. And lastly, we have several new video tutorials that have actually already gone out and will be coming out onto our channel on YouTube and beyond. So I actually would love to play for one of these. If you guys have any sort of friends or anybody in the industry that is, unable to host their event or, is looking for a way to host an event that is not just watching somebody on Zoom, feel free to send this along. Let's see if this will work. I really hope this will work. Here we go. No. Okay. It does not seem to want to work. I'm just going to put this into the chat and you guys can watch it. on your own time. I don't know if the media script is working in here or what's going on, but yes, that's a great little tutorial on how to start events and narrated by a really cool person. And that's all from the community side of updates. Product, do you have any updates?
Oh yeah, always.
Let's hear
We've
'em.
kind of just been staying the course from what we said we'd be doing last time, and this week is kind of crazy, as many of us in America know. Uh, so it's a little bit distracting this week more than most. But more so than not, we've been making some really good progress on the browser and mobile fronts, getting those ready for kind of shipping end of this month and into next month. So you'll be able to see, if you want to, those versions. We've been working hard on Edit World as well, making some good optimizations there, and we're just still digging into those, making things like global illumination, possibly even a resource, so that you can share that. Well, not necessarily share it, but you don't have to rebuild it every time you go into a scene, for example. We made it a little bit better so that you don't have to rebuild GI as you're making like script changes and things like that, but it still has to rebuild if you come in on a new session. So we want to improve that a bit. And then I just got finished checking out the designs for desktop, chat, people, voice control, all getting combined down into one this morning, and it looks so good. I'm so excited to get that started. So you can probably expect that, frankly, next couple releases, I think, with the way those designs are, if we can find the time to plug some dev time into that. It's up to Stretch, really.
Yep.
Speaking of which,
Time's filling up before the end of the year, but yeah.
Yep. He's the man that writes the code, so if he can find the time, we can get it out.
seriously, big shout out to Stretch. You've been doing a lot of really great work. And do you have any updates for us?
Sure. So we're trying to get a release out probably, hopefully later today or early tomorrow. So we'll have a new release out. I tried to fix some of the feedback from the last product meetup. So, being able to resize the codecs down to show more is in. Checking the mic in. These are just some quick ones we did from the product from this meeting. Being able to check your mic in home space is in. Some full screen hotkeys and stuff. Moving full screen menu to a more convenient location to be able to full screen whenever you want is an option. We have some material editor changes coming in. So material editor can now do some multi-editing, some limited material editing. So if you have the same material on a bunch of things, you can multi-select and do that once, change all those materials at once. And also like keeping track of what material, if you switch a texture on something, keeping track of that texture change. So you know which texture is currently on an item. And we have some kind of internal moderation tools coming. And we have tipping should be coming out. So that's going to be event tipping. You'll probably see it in the event on Saturday, and then you can contact us for details on event tipping. So that's coming out as well. Meanwhile, we've also been working on mobile. So improvements to mobile are coming. I know obviously if you're in here, you may or may not be a mobile user, but improvements to mobile are coming. So that's hopefully improving the stream quality there on Android and iPhone. And those are probably the big ones in the last 2 weeks. I did do another video for dynamic sit points, but it looks like the media is not working. But on that front, was working on first-person camera for dynamic sit points so that it follows properly. It's one thing I didn't show in the video from last week is moving in a first-person perspective, which that was the video today, but it seems like we don't have it. So we'll have to put that out then.
Yeah, we can definitely put that onto our Discord.
Yeah. So Alex, you were
Yeah, I'm
editing
cutting that up right now. Yep.
Okay, cool. So we'll probably try and get that out today then. It's a little short teaser, another short teaser. I got to stop teasing. Another short teaser just showing the first person, what it looks like in first person when you're on a dynamic sit point. So it looks pretty good. So yeah. Going forward, we are continuing to work on Edit World, like Alex said. Some more mobile stuff coming, and Reactions V2 is coming along, so that's going to be able to allow you guys to put reactions into your worlds. So if you want custom reactions, that's coming. And like Alex said, more improvements there. We're working on script improvements as well for performance. So expect some performance improvements around script. We're doing that to allow us to deal with a ton of reactions in scenes where you also have a ton of scripts. So that's our goal, but it should improve script performance in certain cases. I think mostly we're focusing on like adding and removing items, so that should hopefully be faster and won't cause slowdowns. Yeah, I think that's mostly what we're working on at the moment. As Alex said, we have this, improvements for the chat and people tool. Like to get to that. I also have some store improvements in the works. So like having it so you can go back and forward and maintain your search history properly when you're in the client store should be coming out. Probably won't make today because I have a little bit more to do on that, but being able to navigate the store properly will be coming out. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Do we have any other updates on our side from any of us before we hop on to feedback and questions? All right, I guess not. So, feedback. We'll go ahead and start off. These are from Robin. There should be a camera in Lookbook.
You mean like a free cam?
Let's see here.
Feel free to-
So there's a camera,
allow
obviously.
you to more easily take your store listing photos. You have to go save it, do all that crap
Pull it
instead
to
of
those.
just
It's a real annoyance. Yeah, totally. Like we've been working on this kind of tool for doing store shots. Not tool, but like Zephos was doing a world that we've been looking at.
Yeah, I see.
If we can do something like that, like incorporate some of that into, because like the world that we load in, one thing with the world we load in the lookbook is that it's not connected to anything. It's not connected to a server, so it doesn't run scripts. But being able to do something like that would be really nice. I agree. Yep, we need a standard two-sided and emissive.
Yes, that's the next one.
Yes, that is a good point because you can't do MD clothing easily with emissive. We've hit that a lot because you get, you have a jacket with emissive on it, and inside you can't see anything because it's not able to be 2D.
Two-sided.
Or two-sided. Two-sided, yeah. We've also talked about having thick MD clothing, which might also solve this problem too, to some degree, if this is clothing focused. Because you could have thick MD clothing where you have triangles on the inside as well that would have the same texture kind of thing. But,
all right.
But yes, that's a good idea. We need the ability to save adjusted clothing, replacing inventory item with the one adjusted so it fits an item once. Yes, that's another. This is all great feedback. Audio issues are bordering on intolerable, cutting out during events. All right. We're going to do another pass on audio. We've done some fixes to audio, but it seems like it's not enough. Is it mostly, so one of the fixes we did for audio, maybe we can get some clarification on this. One of the fixes we did for audio was, we think we helped with Crackle. So Crackle is one thing, and we think we may have made some improvements to Crackle. But it sounds like there's possibly another issue with it stops and then starts, or just completely drops out and then comes back.
dropping out, coming back.
Okay.
It's terrible.
It's really bad.
Okay. So less Crackle and more dropout, come back.
If you could definitely, any of you guys that have the ability to take a video, it would be highly appreciated if you could submit it. I mean, I think we have the idea of what it is, but yes, the more we have examples.
It's literally just if you're watching a YouTube video and it lags out and starts to circle, that's what it's doing. Like a screenshot seems a little pointless. No offense.
Yeah, I agree.
It's lagging out.
I agree. Yes. We may be in contact with you, try and get a repro on our side. If we can get a repro on our side, that'll help us immensely. Right now, that's something we'll have to fix ASAP. So, Alex, let's get that down. Let's talk to Steele. Let's try and get a repro. It could be a performance thing. It's just It's just the CEF thing. So I'm guessing it's actually just cutting. So we need to look into that.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about the voice issue. Okay.
No, it's not voice. This is
Oh no, the stream.
cutting out
Okay.
during events is the.
Well-
so I figured it was stream.
Since we have that anyway, we actually have the same that question. I thought we were on that question. Sorry, guys. There were I think Henry was talking about voice cutting out audio issue. That's the
Yes.
question from him.
Bad. It's really bad. I was with Taj yesterday, and we were in the Nexus, and he was cutting out really bad. We went to one of his spaces, and he wasn't cutting out anymore. I don't know if it's a space issue.
Like you're even
Or-
cutting out for me a lot right now.
A little
Yeah,
bit, yeah.
That's
It's
exactly
you
what
in
it is.
particular. Yeah. It seems. I
And
mean,
never
other
did
people
until
talking.
One of the updates.
Yeah.
Huh.
We did a big audio push to try and improve things, and it seems like it improved. Like we have less roboting. There was this like kind of roboting issue where it was like people would get super crackly and a little higher pitched. We seem to fix that. I don't hear that much at all anymore, but I have heard this kind of like in and out dropping. It's almost like rhythmic. It's like at the end. I wonder. Yeah. Yeah. We'll be looking into that. Yep.
All right. Next question we have is from DNA Elite. Can we get a loading bar for the world builder versus the spinning Sansar wheel? It will help on how long it takes to load files.
I mean, that should be possible. I mean, most of it is, I would think, most of it is downloading if you don't already have it. But of course, if you're doing a scene, you already have most of it downloaded. So it's probably mostly connecting to the edit server, waiting for the edit server to load your scene. That might be something we can put a bar on. I mean, it's mostly going to be that edit server spinning up and it loading your scene before you can connect. I'd have to look into it. It's something we can write down for Callisti, maybe, Alex. Yeah.
I just don't want to do one of those Windows loading bars. It's like 2 days, 3 months. It's ready.
Well, it's tough because it's not like, it's probably not your own system loading because you already have all this files cached almost certainly because you're doing edits on that scene. It's
just
probably
the
waiting for the server to spin up and connect.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So the next one that we have is from Big Dog. Can Sansar do an official event for Ultimate Disc every week? I think we can answer to this. I think it's an awesome idea, especially if Cerberus is down for it. I think that Ultimate Disc Fridays would be a fantastic idea and would love to hear interest from all y'all guys. I think that we should start that back up. So, short answer, yes. Let's figure something out. The next question is from Robin. Can we have the ability to disable reactions, like with the backpack as a scene creator?
Yeah, I think that as part of this V2, we should be able to allow that. Whether it'll be like, just maybe it'll be a script that does it, because you can like kind of replace the reactions. You can make it. It's just like a custom. The new APIs for Reaction V2 are still getting written right now. We have a lot of the other stuff done, like creating a new resource and all this other stuff. So this is good feedback. We could add an ability to disable reactions. It might come through script rather than edit world. Oh, adding an edit world is pretty trivial as well. So one of those two things. I think it's a good idea. But yeah, like I said, you'll be able to add to reactions and control. Replace our reactions with your own reactions. So
you fundamentally would just be able to remove them all, and then
yeah, but it's kind of annoying to have it in a script where it's just like, okay, like the way we're doing it, I think, is we're going to have it so it's like set. You can call like add or set reactions. And so like if you call set reaction, you could pass in no reactions and it'll clear the reaction list. But that's not always great in terms of like a user experience for a creator, I think. Having to like download a script off the store that says disable reactions and then put that script in your
scene. It should just be a
scene
scene settings option, frankly.
It should just be a scene settings option, yeah. So
All right.
Good thought, though.
Yeah, that is a good thought. Looking forward to the custom reactions that you guys make. They'll be wonderfully crazy. I know it already. The next question we have is from VJ. Could we have a video streaming directly into Sansar instead of Twitch or YouTube or others?
Yeah, it's tricky. So basically, we're relying on Twitch or YouTube to like basically deal with the heavy lifting of actually streaming the video. The way that the streaming works is that you stream to YouTube, and then everybody individually, their media surface just connects, instead of going through Sansar server and connecting and getting the stream that way, you basically connect directly to YouTube. So it's taking a lot of cost off of us and a lot of pain off of us of like having to basically write our own video streaming service. So I would say it's probably not likely that that's going to happen. We're probably going to continue to rely on Twitch and YouTube. Now, one thing we have talked about is instead of going through CEF to do that we kind of connect directly to those videos, which would remove a lot of this heartache around some of the stuff you guys are seeing. Like a lot of this is coming from our integration with, you guys see it as Dolahan, right? And that's what we do for our media services. So we've got to work on that.
All right. The next question is actually somewhat related. This one's from Mieka. Could Sansar Media Stream become to support Microsoft's Mixer Social FTL streaming protocol? I'm not sure that Mixer is actually still up and running, but I could be wrong. But I'll go ahead and let Sean answer this one.
Can you repeat the question?
Could Sansar Media Stream be able to support Microsoft's Mixer Social FTL streaming protocol?
Like I said, we basically just go through CEF, which wasn't working previously with Mixer, 7 months ago. We did upgrade our CEF at one point, which is somewhat where some of these audio issues have come from. That is so when Mixer started working then. So it's really like Mixer, I think, is defunct now. I think Microsoft pulled the plug. I haven't looked in a while, but I read that news. But if we basically support what Chrome supports. So.
All right. Oh, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
Who? Me? No.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. The next question is from Henry G. He says he is seconding what Vijay said. It's no longer possible to play YouTube videos that are not embedded. So in other words, he says they're 100% dependent on Tiki script that auto full screens it.
Huh.
So
well, we should just fix that. I'm not sure. Can we get Steele on this to repro this and see where we're at with this? Like, let's talk to the art team. We do stuff with YouTube all the time. So, and we don't use Tiki script. So maybe we need to just write up some docs on what we're doing. But that shouldn't be necessary. Like, we should make sure that, you guys can just put a YouTube link in and it'll appear. Now, I mean, it may necessarily, it'll appear like a website, like you'll have to do the full screening and all that stuff, but it should be possible to just put in a YouTube link and not have to do a whole rigmarole with another script. So if that's the case right now, that's something we need to fix. And let's talk to Art, Alex. Let's talk to the studios team, and let's talk to Steele, and let's get that understood about what's going on.
The follow-up in chat was Henry said if you set the YouTube URL, appears a dialog box of YouTube asking you to click on it in order to proceed.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be something we have to do where we do something for, we've had this before with like the Twitch mature link. And so it might be that we need to deal with that. So
sounds odd though. That's
this
not
is the
something
first
YouTube
time
generally
hearing
does.
of it.
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing of it, so we need to make sure that that's working. Maybe this is something new, but
I'm already reaching out to studios to see if they've got any black magic for YouTube videos, and we'll get QA to look at it too.
Yeah, so that's something that seems like just a bug to me that we should fix. It's just not correct. Yeah, so it's very new. Used to work in the past. Yeah, that's the thing with like some of these services is that like because we're relying on the services, when they change something, then we have to just go in and change it too. So thanks for bringing it to our attention, and now that we know about it, we'll fix it. So
Awesome. Okay, the next one's from Nikki. Are emotes in alphabetical order on the roadmap? Also wondering about folders for inventory, as my inventory is out of control. Yes, I feel you there.
yes. We did hire somebody in the back end, so hopefully we'll be looking at folders. Probably not until the beginning of next year with what our current calendar is. A to Z for emotes is something I can do. So I'll do that. I'll add a little drop down or something, or maybe just a little button. You can I want to make it really small because I don't want a whole big drop down on the UI, but maybe there's a little button I can do that will. I'll think of a way to kind of add a little clicker. But yeah, it's easy to sort them, so I can add that. I just need to figure out what the UI is going to look like. But if it's a big deal, that's something I can do. So
Awesome. Okay, so we have a couple.
It'll probably still have the shortcuts at the top, and then the underlying list will be sorted alphabetically. We'll probably still leave the shortcut items at the top, though.
All right. We have a couple of different ones from Tegan. It would be great to allow more than 5 clothing items. It would be great to allow more than one attachment per attachment point for accessories. Slots to save position, rotation, or scale of accessories, and rings for left hand. Right now, you can only do right hand without rigging. So these are a bunch of different feedbacks.
Yeah. I mean, adding a slot on the other hand would be pretty straightforward. It's probably something I can do quickly.
Oh, and scale hair.
Scale hair is rough, though.
At least be able to move it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with hair in general is that it's rigged. So, if you had it on the shoulder, we'd have to do re-rigging, which might not look as good. Because if you move it, then, say it's rigged, say it's long hair, and you've got it so it sits over the shoulder. If I allow you to move it now, it's still going to move with the shoulder regardless of, because of the way that it's, unless we recalculate those weights for where it's currently sitting. So it's a little trickier to do hair movement or just clothing movement in general that's not MD. MD allows you to resimulate, and it recalculates the weights on that. Now we could do the recalculation, but I just don't know if it's what people are going to want. So because it won't simulate down like MD clothing does, so it'll just be kind of sitting out in space, re-rigged to something. It's a trickier problem for hair and for rig clothing. But adding accessory slot is possible. Maybe doing some kind of save back. I know people ask for save back for clothing. That may be possible. And save back for accessory positioning also could be possible. We do that, it's just saving an inventory item like we do for Edit World. So those things are possible.
Can I go back to Nikki's comment?
Sure. Which one was that?
Well, I added a comment to Nikki's comment, but it got skipped. We really need an ability to do even just a simple search through our clothing items. So we could search for shorts or skirt or something.
Sure.
If we can't organize it, something to help us find clothing items faster as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. That
it.
was in the same bullet point. Sorry about that, Robin. Did not even see that part of it.
No, it's okay.
Yep. That's addable. So search, search is totally doable. You can have it search through the names. We should do that.
Awesome. The next one, since we're actually at time, we have about 3 more questions. So let's
keep going.
Let's do them. All right. Could we have more keystrokes for emotes? This is from VJ.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Stretch, but this gets back to just allowing
remapping.
Getting to remapping in general. Yeah.
I just go with remapping. If we do remapping, then we could just make it so there's kind of as many slots as you wanted to some degree, and just have the first 10 mapped. And you could map all your keys to emotes if you wanted to, I suppose.
And you could change walk forward to page up, and just change whatever the heck you want.
It's really just instead of adding new emote buttons that are coded, because we're already running out of keys and stuff for meaningful shortcuts. It's really just about remapping, I think, is the right solution there. So.
Yep.
All right. The next ones that we have is from Loki. It's a feedback/question. My feedback is that the gun simple script would not shoot while in VR, even if you specify the script to work in VR. When creating a gun in Sansar using the gun script supplied in the Sansar script library, the resulting gun will not fire for VR users in VR, only for desktop users. It will not work even when you set the script to work specifically for VR users.
Okay. Let's have Steele look into that and talk to Spooky Man about getting that fixed if it's not working.
Yep.
So let's we'll just test that. It sounds like a bug. We'll test that and we'll get it to work. Because we should definitely have support for that. And if our default script doesn't work, that's a big problem.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Loki.
Yeah.
And the next one from Loki is also, I find when being asked whether I'd like to start a quest, the window box always needs to be scrolled down in order to accept the quest. Why is this? Why can't the window just be the size needed to see the whole quest request?
Right.
It should be. How big's your screen?
Well, it's not necessarily
The
that.
default-
It could be that we
the
just
default
need
quest
to.
panel is big enough to show the button, and like the contents within should be scrollable, but you should always see the button. So I'm curious what your screen resolution is.
But I'm also curious if the button is attached. Like, it could just be a UI problem where the buttons are attached to the bottom of the text instead of the text being a scrollable area, and then the buttons being always visible and the scrollable area resizes. Are we sure that that's the case?
Yeah, the design was such that the button was always visible in the center area of the scroll. So I'm curious what screen resolution they've got.
I mean, I totally believe him, but even if it's a small resolution, it should be fixed. So.
All right, we have.
Because it doesn't sound like he has to shift the window up to see him. He has to scroll the window, which means that
he shouldn't have to do anything. I'm just curious how big his screen is.
All right, fine.
All right. We got 3 more questions. So, could we have more keystrokes for interaction simple scripts? This is from Mijeka. I think that...
Same answer as the last one.
All right. Next question then. From Vitamin C, can you allow us to change the pose for the cloth simulation so we don't glue pants or armpits?
Maybe. Like, we haven't really experimented with it. The reason that the cloth simulation is in the A pose is that that is the pose that we calculate the skin weights off of. So I'm not sure how it's going to work if you simulate in not the A pose, and then we need to get you back into the A pose to do the simulation, to do the skinning. So because basically the A pose is kind of its default position, and the skin weight calculation is done off of those. So if you say put your arms up in the air, and now we're going to do the cloth simulation, I'm not sure how we're going to get back to this without having skin weight information to then do the skin weight calculation. So it's a little tricky to do it. It would be good though, but I know especially for like dresses and stuff, people have wanted to have that be done in a different way, but it's a tricky problem. So.
And the last question we have is this from Robin. The settings window, could it please default to audio first, please, at the first tab that you see, rather than general, as audio is most often used?
Sure.
It could. I did ask a follow-up question, and it was just, why are you going to audio most often? Is it just, are you like changing voice volume?
Individual voice controls.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I figured.
All the settings need to be adjusted all the time. I adjust them everywhere they go into. So.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I mean, right now you should be able to go, with the escape menu, you can go straight to the audio setting, but we could just make a shortcut as well that's audio settings in the Abui, something like that takes you directly audio, or we can just make it the front. So I'm fine with Alex. You're on the product team, so just tell me what you want to do there. But it's super easy to either move it to the front or have it default to that tab, or add a new button that takes you directly to audio settings from the Abui. There's one of those in the escape menu, but we could add it somewhere else. Those are all options. This is good feedback. If that's what people are interacting with the most, then that's what we should do.
Awesome. Well, I believe that is all of the questions for today. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the product meetup. And be sure that if you guys have any sort of suggestions for the next store collection, please send them my way. Other than that, do you guys have anything else to say for this product meetup?
Thank you all.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Fixing stuff as fast as we can. We're doing as much as we can, and expect more stuff. So
Much love.
it's gonna be great.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you guys. We have a wonderful event coming up in, I think, an hour or so at Team Music Oasis, and we'll see you there. All right. Say bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.